Hello everyone, this is actually 100. Welcome back to another video. Now today I've got a Shiranui deck on Duel Links. I know a few of you subbed to me because of my last two videos, which were TCG ones, so you're probably not too interested in Duel Links, but I will be having some Master Duel and TCG content in the future. But for now, here's some Duel Links. So this is Shiranui, which is possibly a new top tier deck with the 2 new cards and new busted skill. This skill is mistranslated. It says during this duel you can only special monsters with levels except for zombie type or fires. It should say you can only special summon monsters without levels except for zombie and fire monsters. So that means you can only summon synchros and from the main deck that are zombie fires or special summon. But you can summon XOZs and links perfectly fine. And then what the skill does, it adds all these to your extra deck, which saves some space. Then it sends the level 2 Tuna Shiranui to the graveyard, so you can use the effect of Synchro from the grave on the first turn. And then you can send any level 4 to add a Shiranui card, so that means this deck is very consistent, because any level 4 Shiranui or Mizuki is combo. And then you get to return all your Synchros and links that are banished from your graveyard, as long as you return at least 2 Synchros to your extra deck, and then get to banish 2 your Shiranuis from your extra deck, which is going to be this guy and whatever. And then that means that on your opponent's turn you can summon this guy back and then shuffle back whatever the other one you banished is to pop a card. So that's what this deck does. You're going to set up a pop. And you're also going to draw some cards with either the Squire or the Vampire Sucker, so it's kind of similar to Live Twin but just better. So starting off with the deck, we've got 2 DD Crow. It's just the best hand trap at the moment, with Mayakashi and Tenyi being the best decks, and then this also possibly being another really good deck. But you can play around Crow in this deck with 2 card combos, but still it's the premier hand trap this format. Got 3 Mizuki, it's a new card, pretty simple. Banish from the grave, special zombie. So with the skill you can send it from hand to graveyard, and then later in the turn you can use this effect as an extender. Actually, one thing I will say with Mizuki is it's an earth, so you can't special summon it because of the skill. So sometimes if you have exactly just this and another Shiranui banished, you can't use this to summon them back because you can't summon back the Mizuki. So don't fall into that trap because you'll be very sad. Got 3 Solitaire. It's another really good card to send from hand to grave because when you banish him with the level 2 you can summon one back. That helps you with the combos. And then he can tribute a monster to get the level 3 out, which is ways that you can play around hand traps or interruptions sometimes depending on what card you open. I've got 3 Squire, so this is generally the card you're going to be getting. It's your 1 card starter or normal summon. We'll grab this, and then also when she's banished, she draws 1 and discards 1, so that's part of the way that you're going to be digging for things. And you can also discard like a Mizuki to extend, which is pretty nice, or this trap, which is a pretty good graveyard effect. And lastly, for the level 4, so we have the Shiranui Spirit Master, so when you normal him, special 1 from hand. So if you want to play around DD Crow, you will summon this from hand, and then you will use Solitaire to tribute the Spirit Master to summon the level 3 from deck. And then even if they DD Crow you when you go for the level 2 effect, the Synchro, because you summon the Solitaire with the Spirit Master, when it leaves the field, it will be banished, so you summon back with a DD Crow, and then you can keep playing. And then also, when he gets banished, you can pop a card, so if you discard him for the skill, and then you banish him with the 2, on the if you go second, then you can pop something before you even commit to an awesome, which is pretty nice. Or maybe you can pop set up a pop with this, which is another way that's useful. I've got 2 Spectral Sword Shade, so it tributes him to summon 2 of your banished Shiranui, so that helps you extend later in the combo. So you're going to be summoning off this and this from the deck. You could also play the level 2, but you do get the level 2 as part of the skill. So I was playing one, but I cut it because you get it anyway, and it doesn't help give you too many more options, which is kind of worse. It's not a good draw. You want to draw your level 4s, so it's a bit of a brick, so that's why I took it out. And then 2 of this is because you want 1 turn 1 and turn 2. Then for the spells, I've got Droplet. Play as many droplets as you can. It's crazy in this deck. You can sound like Mizuki. It's just a really good card going first or second. I've got 1 Shiranui style synthesis, so the skill adds a Shiranui card, not a Shiranui monster, so you can add this, and this can help you play around hand traps. For example, if you send this to the grave with the skill, then you can summon it back with the synthesis, and then if you normal this and they have Veiler for this, you can use Solitaire to still get this anyway, so that plays around that. And also, when this card's on the field, if you banish the Solitaire, you can summon back 2 instead of 1, which might matter sometimes, just helps you extend your plays a bit more. Then for the traps, I've got my limit 3, which is Compulse. You can't play IDP because you can't summon monsters with levels unless they're zombies and fires, so probably don't want to play that, so this will Crackdown will be the main ones. Then I'm playing 1 Sealing Ceremony of Catan. I'm testing this out. I see some people play 2. I think it's an interesting card. It's basically DD Crow as a trap card. Banishes a 5 from my grave to banish a card in the opponent's, so we can banish your Shiranuis, and then if you banish the Spirit Master, you get a pop, which is the best one. So if you draw and discard, maybe you can dig for a Crow for another interrupt, and this will summon one back, which is pretty nice. So this is interrupting the opponent while also helping me. Then I've got 1 Shiranui style Samsara. This is again searchable with the skill. So it has 2 effects. First one banishes a zombie I control, then I take no damage this turn, so that means they can't kill me. And then also it's useful for dodging like Chalice or Droplet as long as they don't send a trap card on the Sun Saga, because I can banish the Sun Saga and then we still get the pop off. And then also banishing the Sun Saga is nice because we can summon it back with this, which is pretty cool. And then we have 1 Shiranui style Success, which is again searchable. The on-field effect doesn't matter much, it just summons the zombie from hand. But we want it for the graveyard effect, so banish it to make a zombie unaffected by card effects this turn, so that means it's really hard to try and stop me before I get to summon this and have the pop, which is pretty good. And then for the extra deck, we do have these guys. So this guy is, when you summon him, you get to pop by shuffling synchros from your graveyard or banish, so this is the main thing you're going to want to set up by banishing him with the skill at the end of your turn. And then you summon him back with either the new Link or the Yuki-Onna. And the Shogun Saga, which is obviously really good for OTKing. Normally you banish this for his effects, so he'll go up to 55, and then this will reduce something by 500. So if they have a 2000 attack monster, you can OTK there. And then this card is just really good for getting in sneaky kills, winning games that you shouldn't be able to, just by having a massive attack. Then I've got this guy. You're just having him because it's a 6. And then this guy, it doesn't matter, but there is one combo where you can use the 2 Sun Sagas, which is why I'm playing the second Sun Saga, which involves this guy, so it's actually interesting that they give you this, because normally you wouldn't use this in the Shiranui deck, I don't think, before this skill. Obviously we get him for free, so it doesn't matter if we don't use him or not. And then for the extra deck proper, we have 1 Squire Saga, so this is needed as part of the combo. If you have Solitaire, you want to banish the Spectral Sword Shade. It's how you banish him to then be able to summon him back with the Solitaire, because although if you have Mizuki, you summon this back from the grave with the Mizuki, but Solitaire can only summon from banished, so we do that. And then also you can pop a back row if you banish a zombie fire from grave or on field, which is pretty nice, and then maybe even a monster if there's a synchro, so it's a good go in second. They have the second Sun Saga. This is like one of the flex spots in this extra deck. This could be maybe any Shiranui synchro that you think you want a second copy of. Here I have the Sun Saga as part of that one combo. Although I have never done that combo because I'm always trying to play around DD Crow, and I don't think that combo really respects that card. But no one's actually used it on me, really, so maybe I shouldn't respect it so much. And then also this guy is pretty good. He has the protection effect, where if a zombie would be destroyed by battle or card effect, it banishes a Shiranui instead. So again, with this card and this card, it makes it really hard for the opponent to out my board. And also this guy's just big, 35. Then I have 1 Doom Kaiser Dragon, so you can only summon the Shiranui synchros once per turn, so we need a second level 6. So this is a level 6 that we'll be summoning off the level 2 in graveyard normally. And when he's special, you can steal a zombie monster, so if you play against the mirror or against my cash, you can steal their monster and maybe extend with that, which is pretty nice. Then for the links, we've got the new card, Shiranui Skill Saga Supremacy, which is link 3, 2+ zombies, synchros can't be destroyed by card effects, and fires can't be destroyed by battle. So again, with this guy and this, even more protection. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, target a banished zombie synchro, special it to a zone this points to. So if this is banished because of the skill, you summon it back, and then you use this effect to pop on. So that's the main interrupt that you're setting up. Normally you will make the Yuki-Onna instead, as I say. You only really summon this if you have if you open one of these two, because if you open these two, you make the Yuki-Onna combo. But if you open one of these two as your starter to discard the skill to add the Squire, you would have to make this one, because you can't make the Yuki-Onna and put it in the graveyard. Wait, you can't summon this back. And then we have the Yuki-Onna, so she could go in second. When you summon it, you can negate. But the main effect is banish it to summon a zombie synchro that's banished from the graveyard, and then if we summon this from the grave, because we summoned from the grave, we'll trigger the Vampire Sucker, which is pretty nice. I've got 2 Vampire Suckers. So if you summon with Mizuki, you get 1 draw. So again, with this, the draw discard, it really helps you dig for your limit 3s or your DD Crows or Droplet, whatever. And then on the opponent's turn, you will make this again after the Yuki Owner, which is why you play 2, because you need 2 for that combo. And then when you summon back this from the graveyard, you draw again, which is nice. And then lastly, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, just because backer is bad. Again, with this, it's in a reflect spot. Maybe you could play like Heat of the Fire Charmer to steal the opponent's summon to this. You can steal their fires to make them like the Shiranui deck not be able to use their level 2 in the grave, or you can steal like the Mapita, the Tenyi guy, and maybe help Link climb with that. Maybe you can play like Nightmare Unicorn, because I've realised that this card is very hard to out if the opponent just sits on it. If you've already gone through this, you need like a compulse to out it, otherwise they'll just keep protecting it. So it's kind of annoying. Or maybe if there's some way to find like a rank 4 that you could play, you can put that in, but or just another Shiranui Synchro. So that's been it for the deck. On to the replays. Okay, first game is against Blue Eyes with their new skill. Going to be the 1 card Mizuki combo. It's 1.5 because I have Squire, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. It just means we get to add the trap when we discard the Mizuki. So discard the Mizuki, add the trap, then Squire, summon the level 3, then Synchro for the level 7. Then we're going to use the effect to summon with the Spectral Sword, summon our 6, then Squire, draw 1, discard the trap, set that up. Then we're going to Link Summon for the Vampire Sucker. Use a skill, put back to banish the 10 and the 8. Not sure if the 8's the right one, but which is what I've been doing. And then Mizuki, summon back, draw a card, then 3, tribute, summon the 10 and the 2, just put that back in the graveyard. Then we're going to make the Yuki Owner. And then we're going to make the second sucker. And I'm going to set 3 and pass. But it's going to go Melody, add Blue Eyes and Alternative. Going to summon the Alternative. Then we're going to pop our guy. I decided not to protect because we just missed out on a draw. I'm going to use their skill, grab Ultimate Fusion, and dump. Then they're going to make a Tengyusu. I decided to drop it with Tengyusu, just so we can decide what to do if I like Compulse and up later. And he says 3, so we decided to go after the back row instead of Tengyusu. But once we see we hit the fusion, we're like, okay, we can bounce the Tengyusu pretty nicely, and then even if they have the second fusion, we can banish the Blue Eyes and we're probably good. So I'm going to summon this, so we draw a turn, he's going to crack down, we're going to success to make ourselves unaffected, summon the 3, then we decide to summon the 6, and then Solitaire is going to summon that back, and he concedes, because whatever 1 backer he has is not going to do it. And for the next game, this is going second against the Salamandra and Phoenix deck. I'm just going to reveal the Gearfried, get their equip spells, summon the Gearfried, equip it with the Salamandra, and with a Roland from hand. Then they're going to pass turn, so we're going to use our skill, pitch that for the Synthesis, then we're going to use the Synthesis to summon it back by discarding the trap, set that up for later. It's kind of forced the Gearfried there because we can use the trap to stop him negating us otherwise, unless he negates the Grave Effect level 2 guy, I guess, but kind of baited him a little bit there, because we really didn't need that to go through, because we had a combo anyway. Summon the 7, use the 7, just put the quick spell because we can, then we're going to use the effect in the graveyard to make our 6, then summon back 2 with the Solitaire because you have the field spell. Then summon the Shogun Saga banish this guy, just so we have basically game, but just for the sake of it I decided to make the level 10 anyway, just to pop his guy, even though I didn't really need to, might as well. And then we're going to attack in for well over lethal. Okay, so next game is against Destiny Hero. I will say from this point onwards I make a miss playing like every single one of these replays, I'll be honest, it's kind of hard to play. especially when you're doing the combos properly. So I'm going to use my skill, discard the Mizuki, grab the Spirit Master to summon the Solitaire, so this is the one that plays around Crow. So use Solitaire, tribute the Spirit Master to summon the 3, make the 6. I'm going to synchro for the 7, and then because we summon the Solitaire with the Spirit Master, it gets banished, so we can summon back. I'm going to link. For the Vampire Sucker. Then I'm going to Mizuki, summon back this. I probably should have linked off here before tributing and then used the skill, then I could have got the 10 in the graveyard. I think that's the mistake I made. But anyway, we're going to make the Yuki-Onna. It's kind of pointless, I should have made the 3-1. The Shiranui 3-1. And then we're going to synchro for the 6. And that gives us an extra pop. I mean, maybe the other play didn't give me the extra pop if I did it properly to get the draw. I'm not too sure. I'd have to think about the combos properly. But we're going to make the sucker, which is kind of pointless, but we need to do it just to put the Yuki-Onna in grave. So we can trigger that. So opponent's going to summon Baledroch, summon the Mali, which is good for me, because then I know he only has 1 in deck. Going to use the skill, set the poly. I'm just going to link, and here I decide to pop, because I don't want to be saying the poly. I'm going to pop the Mali, because the other guy floats, and then he's going to scoop it up. Okay, next game is against the mirror match. So I've opened the same combo again, but here I do it a completely different way. So I'm going to summon the Spirit Master, summon the Solitaire, the Spirit Master for 3. Well, the start's the exact same, it's just I do it differently later. I steal this guy, but actually it just goes to the graveyard anyway, so it doesn't matter. Maybe there's a way you can make that just to hold this guy hostage, which might be pretty funny as a combo where you can do that. So I decide to summon back the 2, and then we use the 3 to tribute. That's what I did differently. I made the 6 at the end, here I make the 6 now. Then we Mizuki summon back. Vampire Sucker to draw. And we make the 8. And we use the skill. Summon the 10. And then we make the Shiranui link this time because it's banished. I realise there's not much point making the Yuki-Onna. And he's going to use the skill, grab Spirit Master. So he's got the Spirit Master summon the 3, which I think is kind of weak, so I decided to compulse the 3, get rid of it. And he's going to summon this, use that, summon back the 3, but we're going to use this to pop 2. I'm going to chain this just in case he decides to chalice on resolution instead of on the link for some reason. Who knows? But, you know, just a bit of extra protection, and he scoops it up. Okay, next game is against Yubel. I'm just going to set 1, normal Neos, use the skill, grab Super Poly. Then go to Neos Fusion, summon the Kluger. And set, obviously, the Super Poly. So we're going to grab Synthesis. Activate the Synthesis. He's going to use Magic Cylinders, which is one of the cards of all time. We're going to summon this guy with the field spell. And he's going to Super Poly it. Discarding a Veiler. So yeah, kind of funny that he'd rather have a Veiler over, well, Magic Cylinders over a Veiler. So I'm going to make the 7 synchro, use effects, and then we get to pop the back row. Summon the 6. And summon back 2 because you have the field spell. Make Vampire Sucker. Then we summon this back. Then draw a card. And make the 10. I should have chained DD Crow to his effects to banish the Neos Fusion. A big mistake, but luckily he let it go through anyway. Summon the Wise Man. We're going to make the link 3. And we're going to attack, we take much damage. We're going to get it pretty low, and he's got no top decks because I don't think he can do 500 to me, and he scoops it up. Next game is up against Tenyi. I'm going to use my skill, grab the Spirit Master. Here I make a massive misclick, or I accidentally summon the Squire instead of the Solitaire, but it turns out this still works somehow. Make the Vampire Sucker, draw, discard the Solitaire, then summon the 6, then summon back the 2, and then Mizuki for the 4, and Sucker draw 1. Then make the 6. Make another Sucker to put the 2 in graveyard. And then make this, but I guess I could have just made this straight up anyway. Who knows what I was doing. But, you know, I guess it's the same place anyway, and the Suckers go back with my skill. So it didn't really make a difference, and I'm going to set 3. I'm just going to summon Mapita. And then I'm going to make the Monk. Activate the field spell so it can't interact with the Monk. Set 1 for some weird reason. Summon Vishuddha. And here we know that we've got them. So we're going to use the trap, banish that. Then we're going to be able to pop his Vishuddha, summon this guy, and then we're going to pop the field spell so we can interact with that, and then now that we can, we're going to Pulse. And then the last card is Vessel. So then, good thing he's had a card because we knew we had him, and he's going to scoop it up. Next up, we're against Blue Eyes again. I'm going to discard the Mizuki at the trap. Squire for level 3. Make the 7. Summon the 6. Draw and discard. Make the Sucker. Then use the skill. Banish the 10. And whatever. And summon back the 3, get the draw, use the 3, summon back the 2 and the 10. Make the Yuki owner. And make the Sucker. And set the back row. First we got Melody. Add alternative. And Blue Eyes. Some of the alternative. With the pop, this time I decided to protect. Just to make sure I get the draw. They're going to summon the Dragon Spirit White, which is going to droplet, select the Mizuki, because I want that to be engraved, so I might as well. And use the skill, add the Ultimate Fusion, set 2. Pop that. He's going to use this, which doesn't do anything, which is kind of funny. I managed to snipe the spell again, but I did have DD Crows. And summon the Phoenix, block the back row. I'm going to use this to get rid of my 10. I also it's lucky that the way he got rid of my 10 is by sending it to the graveyard, because I had a Mizuki engraved with no other targets, but he just gave me one. And I'm going to pull up his Blue Eyes, and he's going to scoop. Final game is against S-Force. So it's going to summon the Gearfried Chiyomaru, grab the Platina summon back, and then Graffitino to Surge for the chase. Set 3 and pass. I'm going to use my skill. Grab the trap card. I really should have added the spell card, but you'll see I draw it here in a minute anyway, so I get kind of lucky. So I will say I kind of forgot that guy banishes my guy, but it's actually fine because I get to draw one and discard one, which is useful because I get to discard my trap. So he's going to IDP before we can get the trap engraved to protect. And luckily we draw the spell, which is what I need. So I'm going to summon back, just so I have something to droplet to make that 1k. So we go Synthesis, summon this guy. Then I'm going to try and chase, but we've got the trap engraved on now, so we're protected against that. I'm going to use this. Summon the 6, then tribute this, summon back this and this, and then we're going to make the level 8 Shogun Saga, and use his effect, boost him up, lower his attack, and attack 4 over lethal. So that's been it for the video. It's been Jack100 signing off. Have a good day.